r/AskReddit. High school teachers of Reddit, what is the one thing that you want your students to know that you'd never tell them in person? Yes, I put you in a group with the kid you have a crush on intentionally. I'm stuck here with you 180 days a year. I want to see some drama. My food and nutrition teacher started off the semester telling us not to question her seating/grouping decisions, because at that time she had 5 known adult couples that got married specifically because they met in her class. She showed us pictures of her at their wedding. As far as I know, she had a 0% divorce rate, with half of the couples being together at least 20 years. I'm not saying I liked fights in my classroom. I'm just saying I might have taken a little longer to react when the jerk student/bully was finally getting what was long overdue. Also, thank you to my students who would have my back when they'd kindly remind the class that I exist. Hey, Olmoth the truckers, shut the frick up, Mr. Blank's Trinitich. I had to look a little disappointed, but I appreciate you, and I thank you for being my voice. You can be unsuccessful at school, but successful in life. I pretend that it is important for you to do well in my subject, but in reality you'll most probably find your niche in life and be reasonably content, or hopefully extremely happy. You might hate maths, English, science, but turn out to be the most amazing parent, artist, carpenter, or even a mathematician, playwright, or researcher. You might get the lowest scores in class and end up being the most successful of your peers. I feign annoyance, anger, disappointment. I reluctantly phone your parents, give you detentions, or write up critical reports. I have to. It's my job. If you do well in my subject, then that's great, but if you don't, then just relax. We can't all be good at everything. Oh, and do you think you hate exams, tests, and homework? Your mild dislike of the work is a mere candle flame compared to the hatred that burns like a million suns that I feel when I have to freaking mark it. I just wanna say that I love all of you wonderful, underappreciated and underpaid teachers. Teachers got me through some of the worst times of my childhood and adolescence. Except for you, Mrs. Hanson. Forget you. Edit. It's been almost a month, and I still appreciate people using this comment as a place to go off on the lousy teachers they've had. Teachers are amazing. Keep bashing on the ones who don't deserve to be grouped in with the awesome majority. When you think you are being genius by getting me to talk about random things at the beginning of class instead of teaching, I'm really allowing it to happen because I don't have enough plan to cover a full class. My favorite high school teacher, he taught history, confessed on the last day of my senior year that he always started class by talking about something completely random because he knew none of us were ready to pay attention right when class was supposed to start. Had no idea. It was a really good strategy that made the transition into the lesson a lot less jarring. Some days I look at my lesson plans and pray someone causes a distraction that takes a good half the class time. Not a teacher, but an evening janitor. Part of my area is where the robotics club gathers and works. You guys are so amazing. I wish you could see what I see. A group of kids who are well mixed in ethnicity and gender working hard together. I never see signs of drama when I walk by. When I look through the windows, I can see that you guys are listening to each other and treating each other seriously while also having fun. When you guys leave at night, your room is my favorite room to clean. It's always so clean already, and I get to look at your projects and see what all that elbow grease is doing. It's so encouraging to know that these kids are part of our future. They stay an average of 2 hours after school every day, and you can tell it's not forced. They are so enthusiastic that their energy practically shines into the hallway. I celebrate every time a new award is added to the trophy cabinet in the hall. You don't need anything I teach you to be successful in life. Math is about learning to think, not graphing functions and solving equations. Below. People assuming I don't know where the math I teach is used. I promise I do. The point I'm making is that we don't care if the general population can solve polynomial equations. We care that they learn to think. My math teacher put it this way. I know you aren't going to use most of this, but do you think football players go out on the field and start deadlifting? When was the last time you saw a wrestler lay down and bench press on the mat? Your brain needs exercise too. Except in way better words. Please stop dueling in the classrooms, that's what the bathrooms are for. Recently my school put detectors in the restrooms, but some kid in one of my classes still needed his nicotine fix, so he ripped a fat one with his face in his backpack and said the smoke was his laptop malfunctioning. Why are there toilets in the duel room? That it's just as weird for me as it is for you when we bump into each other in public. Edit. Instead of responding to all, I'll tell my story here. I went on vacation with my then girlfriend and bumped into a student 3 states over. We both kind of shook our heads no at each other and kept walking, silently agreeing to not address it. I saw this same student again 2 months later, during the summer, at a concert, where they were underage drinking. We just shook our heads at one another again, keeping that same silent agreement. I saw this same student 4 more times during the summer entirely by accident. It was never discussed. I saw my English teacher at the grocery store once. We made eye contact and I nodded. He nodded back. We kept walking. Said nothing about it the next day. Never brought it up. That's proper procedure. To my freshman, yes, I always know when you didn't do my math because you stayed up late playing Fortnite. You added me as a friend on Epic, so I see that. Also, the amount of homework not done in lower grades when new battle passes come out is so coincidental. To a specific freshman, I support your desire to become a streamer, but editing videos should not keep you away from your homework for a whole week, and your friends always rat you out when you stay home/skip to make/edit those videos. To all high schoolers I teach, you're dumb, but I do love you guys. I'm not stupid, and while I know you cheat on your homework, I don't care, since it's only worth 10% of your grade and you're foregoing the practice you can get before the test. To the 6th graders I teach math to, dear gosh, you make me cringe so hard I have to take ibuprofen some days. I have so much more, but my lunch break is almost over. I taught after school care/summer school for a year and I want so badly to tell them that 1. Now is a great time to find out who they are and to stop parroting what they hear other people say. 2. Stop trying so hard to make Jamie like you and be your friend, because even though you and Jamie have been friends since pre-K, people growing apart is normal and Jamie is a manipulative midge muffin. 3. I kept Owen and other troublemakers close to me in class because giving them just a little positive attention was infinitely preferable to giving them all of my attention in a negative light. Plus, maybe they just needed someone to listen and give them one-on-one, which I'm happy to do. 4. It's useless saying it because it's not going to make a difference, but this week's crisis won't matter next year or maybe even next week, and it certainly won't matter on your deathbed. Yeah, honestly, frick Jamie. A few off the top of my head. Just because I like you as a person doesn't mean that I won't fail you. Being smart isn't a justification for being lazy, and I can't pass someone that never hands in work. I moved you away from your friends because they were taking you down with them. You have a real future in sports, but you need to pass my class to play them. Your friends were making you fail, and if you don't get to play volleyball, I don't know what kind of future you have in front of you. I wish that the positivity that you get in my class could follow you home. I've met your parents and they are a nightmare. I do my best to encourage you here, but I know that some days that just might not be enough. I have never and will never find a student intimidating. That's why I laughed at you when you asked me if I knew who your father was. Yeah, he's the manager of a car dealership. That means nothing to nobody. I had a kid throw a desk at me, and while it scared me in the moment, it didn't make me fear him. One day, you will meet someone who has real power, and I just wish that I could be there to see it. If your parents email a teacher and argue with them, the whole staff knows. At least at my school. Yes, and when there is a parent who is particularly awful to a teacher, that teacher will warn all of the kids' future teachers before they even sit in their assigned seat on the first day of school. If you're nice to me and aren't disruptive, I'll always work the numbers in your favor when it comes time to post grades. Every single time. And I got stuck with a high school with teachers that said no rounding on the first day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more videos like this. Don't forget to leave your stories in the comments below.